Bonjour! In today's video, we're going to cover everything you need to learn about the TCF Canada, le test de connaissance du français, one of the two exams accepted in Canada to assess your level of French and to help you boost your score for permanent residency. Whether you're just starting your French learning journey or you already know French and want to improve your skills, this video is for you. What are we going to cover today? First, the structure of the TCF exam. We want you to get familiar with its format. Then, how long does it take to prepare for the TCF exam? We're going to share with you some of our amazing student success stories and stay until the end for additional tips and resources to help you in your French learning journey. But to start, before thinking of preparing for the exam, what you need to understand is that it is essential that you build strong foundations in French. So the first step is to actually focus on the language. You need to learn French grammar, French conjugation, French vocabulary. You need to be able to converse in French, make your own phrases, and understand French. So the first part is to reach an intermediate level of French. Once you've reached that level, then you can understand what it is that you have to do exactly for each section of the exam, and then you can start preparing specifically for the TCF exam. What is the structure of this exam? You will have four different sections. You will be assessed in the 4 skills: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. So let's dive into each one of them to see how is the structure of this exam. The first part is la compréhension écrite, the reading section. What is important to remember here? It will be about 60 minutes, 39 questions. What is important for you to do is to get familiar with as many documents as possible, a different range of documents, so that it can go from professional to graphic to press articles. So you need to read as much as possible. There will only be one correct answer. What is really important is that you don't get stuck on one specific question. Wrong answers or no answers would not take away points. So if you're not sure, you still need to answer. Before reading the document, we actually recommend to read the questions first, because in that case, once you start reading the documents, you might even find answers of your questions. How can you practice the reading section? You need to read as much as possible. Read regularly in French. Different types of documents. You have a lot of resources online. Depending on your level, if you're just starting, you might want to start with books for children, for example, and then make your way to more difficult readings. Let's talk about the Compréhension Orale, the listening part. It will be about 35 minutes to complete and 39 questions to answer. The audios will be about everyday life situations, and what is important for you to do is to get used to different French accents. There will also be one correct answer each time, and make sure to answer each question, since wrong answers or no answer will not take points. The audios will start automatically. So once you start this section, it is really important to focus and to pay attention to the audios. A lot of resources are also available online for you to practice this section. You can listen to the radio, you can listen to podcasts, to music, TV shows, movies. So it's really important that in your French learning journey, you really integrate a lot of different resources. You can find some of them online. For example, you have Radio Canada, TV5 Monde, but of course, you can also find your own resources with French music and French movies that you actually enjoy listening to. Let's talk about the Expression Écrite, the writing section, where you will have 3 tasks to complete in 60 minutes. So let's see the first tasks. You will have to write a short message situation. Here we're taking the example of the fact that you just bought a product online and it arrived broken. So you need to write a short email to the customer service to ask for replacement. It will be about 60 to 120 words and it shouldn't be more than 10 minutes to complete. So that then you can move on to the task number 2, that will be a little bit longer. We recommend about 20 minutes for this task, where you will have to write between 120 and 150 words. In this task, you will have to write a short text, like a blog or an article. In this specific example, we are asking you what you think about working from home. Is it a good idea? So you have to express your opinion, if you agree, disagree, and give your arguments. What is the task number 3? It is the longest task. So for this one, we recommend taking at least 30 minutes to complete. It will take about 120 to 180 words. So you'll have to write a text for a newspaper, a website, a colleague. It will depend on the topic. And you will have to compare 2 different points of view. So for example, in here, we're asking you if you are for or against working from home. So you will have 2 different texts giving the arguments, the ones that agree with this statement, the ones that disagree with that statement, and then you will have to form your own opinion. Those 3 tasks. In order for you to practice this writing section, it is important that you master the conjugation in French, that you also structure your text in a specific way. You will have to use specific vocabulary as well and organize your ideas. This is why a proper structured program for this is essential to help you get the best score at this section. Let's talk about the Compréhension Orale, the speaking section, where you also have 3 tasks to complete. It will take about 12 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. The first one, task 1, you won't have preparation. It will be just a conversation that you will have with the examiner about yourself, who you are, what are your hobbies, where do you work. You need to show that you can interact naturally with someone that you don't know. Task number 2, you will have a little bit of preparation for this one, about 2 minutes, and then it will be about 3 to 4 minutes of interaction with the examiner. Basically, you will have an ad and you will have to ask as many questions as possible to get further information. The task number 3, you'll have to give your opinion. So here you won't have preparation. You'll have to speak spontaneously. You'll have to convince your examiner by giving a clear statement, a clear position with 2 or 3 arguments, and then conclude. Let's see a little bit of examples for each one of those tasks. The first one, as we said, a little interview directly with the examiner to talk about yourself. And then you will have a specific ad where you will be asked to ask as many questions as possible to get further information. So if there are special offers, when is the offer going on, what are the services? So here you have to prepare a series of questions. And the third task, you will have to give your opinion. So here again, we're talking about working from home. Do you think it's a good idea? Basically, what you would do for the writing part, you will have to do it here in the speaking section, giving a few arguments, giving a clear statement on what your position is, some examples, and of course, a conclusion. What is important here, you will have to follow what is asked for you for each task. You will also have to use either formal or informal depending on the situation. Use specific vocabulary and expressions to show that you can speak naturally in French. So that was for the format of the exam with the 4 different skills: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Now, how long does it take for you to practice each section of this exam? If you are starting from scratch, if you don't have any knowledge of French, don't worry, it is possible to reach CLB 7 in about 12 months of preparation. You will first focus the first month on building strong foundations in French. Again, it is important that you understand the language and that you are able to have conversations in French. So the first 6 months help you reach an intermediate level, about B1 level in French in terms of grammar, conjugation, and vocabulary. The second part is to consolidate this B1 and make your way to B2 level to reach CLB 7. And to prepare each section, we saw together that there are very specific exercises, mostly for the writing and the speaking. So for you to get familiar, to get comfortable, to know exactly what to answer in the exam, it is essential that you practice on a regular basis with mock exams and specific exercises targeting those sections. So if you already know French, we have a free placement test that you can take so that we can let you know at which level you should start. Maybe you can join at the middle of the first step 1, because you already know some French, but you still need to consolidate and to make your way to B1 level. And then you need to prepare for the TCF exam. What is included in our TCF preparation? You will have live classes with a teacher so that you build your confidence week after week. You have classes twice a week for 90 minutes. We also have a weekly speaking challenge because it is important to start speaking from day 1 and to build your confidence in French. We also have a lot of events, and we encourage you to be part of our community and to communicate in French with your teacher and with your classmates. All the lessons have been pre-recorded and are available on our online platform with additional quizzes, resources, exercises. So you have 1 year free access to the whole content on our online platform. We also created our AI teacher. Her name is Emily, and she will help you train in French at any time directly on the online platform. You might have heard CLB 4, 5, 7. What do those numbers mean in terms of your French level? Well, CLB 5 is equivalent to a B1 level. It's an intermediate level, but on the lower side. What about CLB 7? We are already on a higher intermediate level, equivalent to B2 to C1, depending on the section of the exam. What is important to know here? You can reach CLB 5 in about 6 months of French learning. With a structured program, if you start from scratch, within 6 to 9 months, you are going to be able to practice to reach CLB 5 at the exam. What about CLB 7? If you are starting from scratch, we recommend a minimum of 12 months, 6 months of building strong foundations in French, learning everything there is to know about the French language, and then specifically targeting CLB 7 in each section of the exam within 12 months. What result should you expect? When starting from zero, starting from scratch, you can expect to reach CLB 7 in the 4 skills in about 12-month preparation. So we saw, first we focus on the language, we need to learn French, reach an intermediate level, and then we prepare specifically for each section of this exam with exercises, mock exam, targeting each task that you have to do. Our students, here you can see Yifan and Vidush, they have been able to reach CLB 7 and more in each section in only 12 months of preparation. If you need to reach those results faster, for example, we invite you to look into the Francophone Mobility, which is helping you to get sponsorship from your workplace. So if you're interested in it, what you can do is take a look at what the Francophone Mobility is. You only need to reach CLB 5, which is a B1 level in listening and speaking. Starting from CLB 5, then you are eligible for the Francophone Mobility in Canada, which helps you stay with a work permit. So some of our students, they've been training specifically for that, knowing that they are still making their way to CLB 7, but in between, in only 6 months, they are already able to reach CLB 5 and to get sponsorship from their workplace, and then they continue their French learning journey. We also have some students that decide to take the exam before finishing the 12-month course, and they are already, after 7, 8, 9 months, already reaching incredible results, as you can see here, from CLB 6 to CLB 11, or even CLB 12 here. What is important for you to do? First, seek support. It is important to join a specific TCF course that will be structured, that will help you know exactly what you need to learn in terms of grammar, conjugation, vocabulary, help you reach B1 level in only 6 months, and then specifically target each exercise that you will have to complete at the TCF exam. Consistency is key here. 12 months of consistent French learning will help you reach your goals. So you will have to practice French on a daily basis. You will have classes with us on a weekly basis, and we also encourage you to switch your phone to French, listen to French music, to French podcasts, watch movies, read books, really build that daily French practice. And then, of course, join a French community. You can join all of our events in Vancouver, online, in other cities that we are also in, and we are always happy to welcome you. So we really encourage you to start your French learning journey today, and we're here to help you all the way. If you have any questions, we are always happy to talk to you, to answer your questions. You can contact us at info@frenchtransformation.com, and we'll be happy to see how we can help you succeed at the TCF exam. You're also welcome to watch our little videos from our students sharing their testimonials with us, and to see all the Google reviews, all the stories that our students are sharing about the school. We've helped thousands of students and can't wait to help you reach your TCF goals. À bientôt. Merci.